The wrestling world just witnessed something that will be talked about for years to come as CM Punk defended his World Heavyweight Championship against GUSO at Saturday night's main event, and what unfolded inside that ring was nothing short of spectacular. This wasn't just another title defense, this was a collision between two of the most electrifying performers in professional wrestling today, and if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, do it now because you don't want to miss any of the action we're breaking down. From the moment both men stepped through those ropes, you could feel the intensity radiating throughout the arena. CM Punk, carrying the weight of the World Heavyweight Championship on his shoulder, had that focused look in his eyes that tells you he came to San Antonio ready for war. The champion has been on an absolute tear since capturing that title, proving night after night why he deserves to be called one of the best in the business. On the other side of the ring stood GUSO, a man who has reinvented himself as a singles competitor and has been hungry for that one moment that would define his solo career. This was his opportunity, his chance to step out of the shadow of tag team excellence and prove he could hang with the elite on his own. The bell rang and these two wasted absolutely no time getting into it. Punk immediately went for a lockup, using his technical expertise to try and ground G early. The champion knows his game plan in these situations: break down your opponent piece by piece, work the body, and set up for the devastating finish. But GUSO had no intention of making this easy for anyone. He reversed Punk's early advantage with a quick arm drag that sent the champion tumbling across the ring. The message was sent loud and clear: G came to compete at the highest level. What made this match so compelling was watching these two completely different styles mesh together in perfect harmony. Punk represents that old-school technical wrestling combined with a punk rock attitude that has made him a legend in this industry. He was throwing stiff kicks to G's midsection, working him over with precision strikes that echoed throughout the building. Every chop, every forearm, every calculated move was designed to break down the challenger's will. GUSO brought that Samoan warrior spirit, that same fire that runs through his entire family's bloodline. He was hitting Punk with explosive offense, super kicks that came out of nowhere, and that incredible athleticism that makes him such a dangerous opponent. The action spilled outside the ring about 10 minutes into the contest, and this is where things really started to heat up. Punk tried to whip G into the steel steps, but the challenger reversed it and sent the champion crashing hard into the unforgiving metal. The sound of that impact made everyone in attendance wince. G wasn't done there though. He rolled Punk back into the ring and went up to the top rope, looking to hit one of his signature aerial attacks. The crowd was on their feet as G leaped off with a crossbody, but Punk rolled through at the last second and turned it into a pin attempt. The referee's hand slapped the mat twice before G kicked out with authority. Back and forth they went, trading momentum like heavyweight boxers in the championship rounds. Punk hit a beautiful snap suplex and floated over for another pin attempt, but again G showed that warrior spirit and kicked out at 2. The champion pulled G to his feet and started laying in those trademark knife-edge chops that have left many opponents with welts across their chest for days. The sound of flesh meeting flesh rang out through the arena as Punk chopped away, backing G into the corner. But when Punk charged in for a running knee, G moved at the last possible second and Punk collided with the turnbuckle. This opened the door for G to mount some serious offense. He hit Punk with a series of right hands that had the champion reeling. A big uppercut sent Punk stumbling backward, and G followed up with a running hip attack that drove Punk into the corner. The momentum had shifted dramatically, and you could feel the energy in the building change as the crowd sensed a possible title change might be in the cards. G dragged Punk out of the corner and hoisted him up for a Samoan drop, drilling the champion into the canvas with authority. The cover, 1, 2, Punk's shoulder shot up just before 3. G couldn't believe it. He looked at the referee with frustration but quickly refocused on the task at hand. He started setting up for the USO splash, that finishing move that has put away so many opponents throughout his career. The crowd was reaching fever pitch as G climbed to the top rope. He stood there for a moment, measuring his target, and then launched himself into the air with picture-perfect form. But CM Punk, showing why he's the champion, rolled out of the way at the absolute last second. G crashed and burned hard on the empty canvas, the impact knocking the wind completely out of him. Punk sensed his opening. Despite the punishment he had absorbed, the champion dug deep and pulled himself to his feet. He grabbed G and hoisted him up onto his shoulders in the fireman's carry position. Everyone in the building knew what was coming next. Punk was going for the go-to-sleep, his signature finishing maneuver that has ended countless matches throughout his legendary career. But G was still alive in this fight. He elbowed his way out of the position, dropping back down behind Punk. In one fluid motion, G shoved Punk forward into the ropes and caught him with a super kick on the rebound. The sound of boot meeting jaw echoed through the arena as Punk crumpled to the mat. G fell on top for the cover, hooking both legs. The referee slid into position and counted 1, 2, and somehow, someway, CM Punk kicked out. The look on G's face told the whole story. He had just hit one of his best super kicks and it still wasn't enough to keep the champion down. This is what separates the good from the great, this is what championship heart looks like, and Punk was showing everyone watching why that title is around his waist. Both men were exhausted at this point, laying on the canvas and trying to catch their breath. The referee started his count, getting to 6 before both competitors began stirring. They pulled themselves up using the ropes, meeting in the center of the ring where they started trading strikes again. Punk with a forearm, G with a right hand, back and forth like two warriors who refused to quit. The exchange got faster and more intense, neither man willing to back down an inch. Finally, Punk ducked under one of G's strikes and caught him with a spinning back fist that stopped the challenger in his tracks. Punk wasted no time. He grabbed G again, lifting him up onto his shoulders one more time. This time there would be no escape. Punk drilled G with the go to sleep, his knee connecting flush with G's face. The challenger went down in a heap and Punk collapsed on top for the cover. The referee counted 1, 2, 3, and it was over. CM Punk had successfully defended his World Heavyweight Championship in what was an absolute war. The champion slowly got to his feet, clutching his ribs and breathing heavily as the referee handed him his title. Punk raised the championship high above his head as his music hit, celebrating a hard-fought victory over an incredibly tough opponent. But the story didn't end there. As Punk was celebrating, GUSO began to stir on the mat. The challenger pulled himself to his feet, clearly disappointed but showing respect for the battle they had just been through. What happened next showed the true character of both men. Instead of leaving the ring in defeat, G walked over to CM Punk and extended his hand. The crowd erupted as these two warriors showed mutual respect after beating the hell out of each other for 20+ minutes. Punk accepted the handshake, and the two embraced in the middle of the ring. It was a moment that reminded everyone why we love this business, why we invest our emotions in these stories and these characters. These are athletes putting their bodies on the line every single night to entertain us. After their show of respect, G raised Punk's arm in victory before rolling out of the ring and heading up the ramp. The challenger had nothing to be ashamed of. He had pushed the champion to his absolute limit and proved beyond any doubt that he belongs in the main event picture as a singles competitor. His time will come, and when it does, you can bet he'll be ready to seize that opportunity. As for CM Punk, he had once again proven why he's at the top of the mountain. Another challenger stepped up, and another challenger was sent packing. The champion stood in the ring, title held high, looking out at the sea of fans who had witnessed something special. This defense solidified Punk's reign and sent a message to everyone in the locker room. If you want this championship, you're going to have to go through hell to take it from him. The question now becomes who steps up next. Who will be the one to challenge CM Punk for that World Heavyweight Championship? The division is stacked with talent, hungry competitors who believe they have what it takes to dethrone the champion. This match at Saturday night's main event will go down as one of the best title defenses of the year. Both men left everything they had inside that ring. The chemistry between Punk and G was off the charts, their contrasting styles blending together to create something truly special. From the technical wrestling to the high-flying moves to the hard-hitting strikes, this match had everything you could want from a championship bout. The near falls had everyone on the edge of their seats, genuinely believing that we might see a title change at multiple points throughout the contest. The crowd in San Antonio played their part perfectly, creating an atmosphere that elevated an already great match to another level. Their reactions to every near fall, every big move, every moment of drama added so much to the overall experience. These are the nights that remind us why live professional wrestling is unlike anything else in entertainment. The energy, the passion, the unpredictability of what might happen at any moment, it all comes together to create memories that last forever. Looking ahead, CM Punk's title reign shows no signs of slowing down. He's defeated every challenger put in front of him with a combination of skill, experience, and pure heart. But in professional wrestling, there's always someone new waiting for their shot. The landscape is constantly shifting, alliances are formed and broken, and new contenders emerge seemingly overnight. Punk will need to stay sharp and stay ready because the target on his back only gets bigger with each successful defense. As for GUSO, this loss does nothing to diminish what he's accomplished as a single star. He went toe-to-toe with one of the best to ever do it and nearly walked out as champion. The respect he earned from this performance will open doors for him moving forward. His journey as a solo competitor is far from over, and you can bet he'll learn from this experience and come back even stronger. The fire still burns in GUSO, and his story is still being written. Saturday night's main event delivered exactly what it promised, a main event worthy of the show's legendary name. CM Punk vs GUSO for the World Heavyweight Championship will be remembered as a classic encounter between two of the very best in the business today. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you never miss any of the action, analysis, and updates from the world of professional wrestling.